Hey everyone, War 7, we're into the back half of the season, and honestly, after the last few wars on Salty, we thought that this would be a little bit of a lighter war. We've matched PBT, who is a very solid alliance, obviously, but we like expected to have a decent bit of leeway in this matchup. But at this point of the war, I should have took a screenshot, but I am stupid. Salty was at about 100 kills, 1 death, you know? We was like, yeah, this is game over. This is really nice. PBT then got to 93 and 2. And time was on our side, but still, we was like, whoa, this is the best performance an alliance has had against us. Why is PBT cracked all of a sudden? So, essentially, we had to lock in for the entire rest of the war, because PBT was only 1 death behind us. So, yeah, this is kind of like the most high-stakes one yet, you know, at the time I was clearing. You know, some of the other wars have been close, but they've got close after I cleared. So, in terms of when I was clearing, this was a pretty high-stakes one. So, the first fight, torch, yada yada, done. This was a bit of an interesting placement, not seen this one before. It is null on 2.4.1. This guy's usually on either 2.4.2 or somewhere else this season, because Spider-Woman's on 42. Shang absolutely annihilates this fight. Basically, my cleanse, because I will cleanse multiple things, I'm getting multiple furies, so my damage just goes through the roof. You'll be able to see in a second here, this SB2 just does insane damage. Like 26k crit. And yeah, he gets wiped off the face of the earth. Bit of a weird placement. But yeah, Shang is probably the best counselor, probably the fastest. Oh no, Moleman is faster. Moleman is faster because he purifies all of the Living Abyss and has about 16 furies. But yeah, Shang is pretty solid though. Okay. Next fight, this APOC again, with Future Ant-Man. Not too bad of a fight. It's essentially just, can you dex the SB1? If you can, he's a noodle. So I start by getting 2 endurance up. No real reason, I just wanted to get the endurance up before I did anything. SB1 takes him back below a bar of power. And now we're at 10 of our armors, and now we're going to bet an SB1, and basically with his SB1, I can't do it 100% consistent, but I'd say about 80%. You need to dex very early on the first one of his beams. That way you have time to get the other 2 dexes off, because for APOC, this might sound stupid. Oh, that one I dexed slightly too early, but triple glance moment. This might sound stupid, but APOC's beams are faster than you can dex. Like, you need a bit of leeway on your dex so that you can get the 3rd dex off before the 3rd beam hits you. But anyway, he just got wiped out by a single SB2 because Future Ant-Man is well balanced. I have seen that APOC got a few kills this season though, you know. If you can't get that dex down, he can do some big damage with specials, but at least Future Ant-Man means that you'll probably glance and you'll probably be fine. Okay, on to Cassandra Nova on 41 again. This one I've fought a few times at this point. She's just placed here because she tries to go to SB2 a lot, and SB2 on Cassandra is bad. But there's no real issue with FAM because you have additional power control and disintegrations lowering the combat power rate. I do get rooted there, which was a bit weird because I got rooted as I hit her, so that was like frame perfect. But now I'm just gonna go to another SB1, fire that off, and at this point I'm like, let's go for an SB2 and wipe her. You know, it should be pretty easy at this point to just remove her from life. Power detonation comes back on. It keeps her above a bar of power, which was slightly annoying. She throws that as I dash into it, so I do take a bit of damage here. Nothing crazy, but I am rooted, and I'm going to get rooted again. So I SB1 to get out of it. Don't want to get caught in that and her start doing some funky stuff. But yeah, even with all that damage taken, it was 20% of my health, and I'm regenning back now from the rage stacks. So yeah, that was... It doesn't actually matter. It was just extended the fight, really. I'm selling time. But anyway, SB2 takes her out. We healed back to 87% as well, which is good. Now onto the boss island. We've got 3 fights on this one. We're taking a whole side. First one is Nico on 47. Sometimes she's on 49, but I've seen 47 a few times as well. Essentially, I'm going to play this the exact same as 49. Invul is on, and I'm going to push her to SB3. Obviously, I need to wait out that buff immunity at the start. The unstoppable timer is slightly longer than buff immunity. That's one thing that seems bad about this fight, but is actually just no issue because it is longer. She throws that, which was uncalled for. Another thing to watch out for, it doesn't really matter if you're planning to parry with Torch anyway, but she puts Halt on you, so don't try and use the Unstoppable for an intercept. You don't want to intercept on this node anyway, but force of habit, some people might do it. So I'm just chilling here, and I decide now is probably the time to try and take it to SB3, but she throws that SB1, and I'm like, okay, nobody likes you. She throws another one. I decide to block one of the hits to get back to my max heat. I'm playing this really slow. I should have just gone to SB3 by this point. I also take this fight in the war after, and I just do it so much quicker just because I just straight throw her to SB3. It's just so much better. But anyway, I heavy into my own SB3 here. It's going to trigger Nova Flame and a huge Nova. And then she's going to SB3 back and gain some health, but then I'm going to rinse her down with Nova. That's pretty much the end of this fight. A pretty nice and easy one, to be honest. Oh no, SB3, please don't hit me with like that rock you throw at people. Oh no, that hurts so much. Wow, so scary. 0%. But yeah, now I've got my Nova up, and you can see she's just melting. It's game over for her. There's what was it? 8 neuros. Yeah, nice one. 8 Novas on her by the end. So yeah, she just died. Okay. Now we've got Cat Britain. Special power drain pre-fight is on. Essentially just to remove that safeguard so that my SB2 bursts can do a lot of damage. This is a very chunky Britain though. She has like 900k health, which I didn't realise that her health pool was so high. She has one of the highest in the game, which is funny. Main things to know in this fight, you can heavy counter her heavy to get additional endurance stacks. And just watch when you're throwing your power. Watch when you're throwing your specials. Because it's polka dot power. Don't get caught below a bar of power, because the only way then to get more power is to have a power detonation expire, which is possible. I mean, it just happened then, but it is more difficult, and you know, you just don't want to be messing around with it. Just keep yourself enough power. But anyway, I throw a big SB2 here. It does a good chunk of damage. So now essentially if I throw one more SB2, she's dead. I don't even know if I go to SB2. I can't remember. I think I do. Well, we're about to find it. Yeah, I do. Oh, no, I don't. It's Polka. I'm dumb. So I throw an SB1, and yeah, now 13%. And yes, there's Neuros building on me, but I have so many potions. I'm just going to hit straight through her. I don't care. Bye-bye. So yeah, that was a pretty easy fight. I took more damage than you should be taking, but that's just because I rushed the ending to get out of there. Okay, now we've got a gym boss, and I hit my new personal best on it. Not a world record, nowhere close, but I hit my new personal best on it. So the time to beat for me was 2:22. So we start this off, and I have a bad start actually. I got too aggressive with my intercepts. So she got unstoppable before I could get endurance. So this is still a personal best with some time wasted. I genuinely think this could have been 2 minutes or sub 2 minutes if I wasn't dumb at the start. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Now we're cooking, and essentially I'm going to throw this SB1 here for 2 reasons. Gets me the 3rd Disintegrate from that Expire and refreshes Maker pre-fights. Keeping Maker pre-fights up is not necessary. But if you're going for a really fast time, it is, because that burst damage increase is really nice. So we go for a heavy here to refresh them. We also have 4 endurance, which means the taunt will last about 3.4 seconds. We throw that one. The taunt was fully up, but because it was a big amount of disintegrates, it's still, like, she still took over a third of her health, and that was with taunt up. Probably if I was able to have taunt expire before then, that could have been an even better cook. So yeah, we do accidentally throw that into block, which meant I lost my makers. So this, I kind of threw the PB out the window. Not the PB, like a really insane fight out the window. But like, even still, we get our second disintegrate up now. And we're going to try and get this power detonation to expire. I think we're going to throw another SB1 too, yeah, because my second disintegrate was about to go. And there we go, we get the third up. And so now it's get to that SB2 and wipe off the map. But obviously be careful of the taunt. So we get to the SB2. We get rid of the shield. Taunt is down, and yeah, it takes her to 6%. And there's now no shield, no taunt, and I'm doing my big damage on my basics. And she's dead. So yeah, I think you can see it just at the end here. A 219, I think that was. Which, 3 seconds better than my PB. Should have been a lot better, but hey. Ah, well. We take those in a war that is pretty tough and close. But okay, now onto the mini. I'll leave you in suspense for if we beat PBT for a little bit longer while I show some shocking Onslaught gameplay. Okay, this is a tumor on the Node 7. Essentially here with Onslaught, you're completely fine, just don't parry. Just don't parry, and you can still use all your abilities, all your specials, all your heavies, your daunted, whatever, who cares. Just don't parry. That is literally the only thing on this fight. Bit of a weird placement by Ny7, but oh well. We take those sometimes. But yeah, I'm just building up here with baiting out heavies and countering. Then I'm going to get the Relic on for a little bit of healing and just wipe him off the map with an SB2. Pretty easy fight. Cost a potion or two because at the start I got slapped, but who cares. Now we are on to the second fight, which is this arcade. This is a pretty easy fight with Serpent. You just have to play it slow. Don't try and do anything tricky. The Tranquilize does affect Serpent, so just wait it out and then keep playing. You know, Serpent's got enough damage that you don't have to be like going fast for any reason. There is the big physical resist, but after a while, Serpent is just going to not care about that. Half because his specials is Cold Snap, so big energy damage, but half because his damage just goes through the roof. And I'm going to push SB2s here on purpose. One reason is just because it doesn't place any poisonous clouds, and I don't want to deal with any of that shit. Second reason is it makes his charges very easy to manage because you bait an SB2, wait out the Tranquilize, heavy, and then you'll have a special attack ready because you're Serpent, and oh look, he's back to 0 charges. Absolutely no issues with it. So yeah, now I get him back jammed in the corner, and we're just spamming some specials. You can see that Cold Snap damage is already at like 11,700 was that. I've got resist up too, so blocking that SB2 does very minimal damage. Plus we got a bit of healing from Tranquilize. Throw the heavy. Same strat again. SB1 into the block. Pretty nice here. We get another SB1, and this pretty much kills. So yeah. Just land. Oh, we tried to land an intercept and he said no, but oh well. We get the hit. And arcade goes down. So now we are on to this void. I've got a path split here. I'm not taking the dust. And yeah, this is a pretty easy one. Done this a few times, but this is a rank 3 Void, which is why it's so easy. You will see the difference in health is insane. Like, I take, like, nowhere near as much damage purely because the fight lasts nowhere near as long. 2 SB2s just wipes. And as well, there is the addition of the debuffs will all do less damage because the damage scales with Void's stats. So yeah, pretty easy. I just throw that relic into block at the end. And he's dead. So I waited for that to be cleared, and now we're on to the minis. Do we have 2 or 3 minis? I think it's 3. Yeah, I think it's 3. Oh, it is 3. Yeah. So, first one is this Nico. We're using Onslaught. 38, again, I mentioned this in the last war video, that Onslaught is diabolical for 38. You get your passive Daunted when the debuff immunity's on, and your passive pauses, so it's just easy. So I'm going to be at 10 Daunted very quickly, and the passive Daunteds have more potency than the debuffs, which is another interesting thing. I have Neuros as well, so I don't care if Nico goes invisible. So yeah, this fight is essentially Noodle if you wait out the buff immunity. Throw that SB1. So now we're just going to build to SB2, and we have infinite passive pauses. So yeah, pretty easy. Oh no, you threw an SB1. Would be a real shame if I had Neuros on you. Like, this is just a really easy fight. Is Torch better on this node? Yes, he is faster. But for if you are a decent Onslaught player, Onslaught's being assigned to everything this season. You may as well Onslaught it. It's just easy. It's just not easier. It's easier in a planning sense. But anyway, 14 degens, made that 15, 16. And there's an additional Neuro on as well, which is really nice. Combo, Relic combo, and yeah, GG's. Very easy. We just throw a full SB1 for flare points. Okay, now we've got a Spider-Woman on node 41. Oh, what are you doing here? Yeah, I don't know why she's here. They put High Evo on 42, who's much easier. But yeah, the 41 Spider-Woman. This is a way easier fight for a billion reasons. Let's just look at what they don't have from 42. There's no unblockable. Thank God, because that is the shit that usually gets you killed. Because like on this fight, here I can just hold block. And I know that she probably won't do anything dumb. Second reason, on this node, there is Power Focus 2. I can push to SB2 easier. And obviously you want her to be throwing them SB2s, because it's easy to outrange it, and the SB1 is heinous. So essentially, this fight is just really easy. I don't know why it's here. This is the only time that it got slightly annoying. I did get fumbled, and I did get rooted, so I threw the SB1 to get rid of both of those effects instantly. Don't want to fuck around with that. We do still have Ensnare on us, but I'm going to try and cleanse it at some point. Oh, it just fell off before I could cleanse it, because I'm bad. But anyway, it's so much easier to keep the slow on here. But anyway, we throw an SB2 off. Pushes her back up above 2 bars. Really nice fight so far, and it doesn't even matter if she decides to hold her special for ages, because I can just parry her and 2 combo to get the slow back up. But anyway, another SB2 and she's dead. Really easy fight on 41. Not sure why she's there. Don't really care though. I don't want to fight her on 42 ever. So last fight, we've got this Lumitrix on 43. It's Incinerate Shock and I am Onslaught. I think you know how this is about to end. We're just going to run straight to SB2 and delete him. There's Neuros as well, obviously, because I'm Onslaught, so we are not going to get wrecked by his invisibility. We can just heavy counter or combo it or just anything. That I was out of range because I was bad. But because how Lumitrix's thing works, if he has the invisibility up and he heavies, he won't gain the evade. So you can bait heavies while he's invisible and just be completely fine. So I push it to SB2. I wanted him to throw the SB2 to be honest, but throws SB1, which is fine. I'm going to get a pause off. into the SB2, and you can see he's just dead. He's just dead. GG's game. So yeah, that was the war, and Salty did beat PBT. They fell apart slightly at the end when they realised it was over, but that was an incredible performance from them. And then Faye beat NYC by a pretty good margin. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you all in War 8, which is another big one. Pretty big one.